Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. In this video, I'm going to be watching and reacting to some of the most viral, craziest police videos I've ever seen. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so this one here, so we can see we've got a police protest. Looks like a pro-Palestine protest. Are those fucking those are earbuds? The officers got in earbuds. I can't say I blame them really because I can imagine they can get quite loud. I wonder if it's like a reasonable adjustment which they've asked for when it comes to work. So you got, oh wow, that's a great place to pause the video on. So we've got a lady there absolutely screaming in an officer's face, giving it all the big guns, giving it say, "Oh, you fucking this and you're a pig and you're all the rest of it." I mean, this is brilliant. Absolutely love this that this officer has gone to this protest with earbuds in. If that shows you, just shut the fuck up. I don't want to listen to what you've got to say. And nothing else. Well, I'm sure if the person came over to them with an actual proper complaint and a concern, then they take the earbuds out. They'd be like, "Okay, go on, talk to me about it." But just somebody screaming at them. So if nothing says, "I don't get paid enough to deal with your shit," more than that, then that's great. And just the look on the officer's face was that like, I'm probably on a cancelled rest day. I don't want to be here. I've got a caseload as long as my arm to deal with, and you're standing here screaming at me over a political event, which frankly I have no control over. So we got sent this one as well, and even though it's not a video, it's just like a great meme. So it's I just imagine this in like one of the boardrooms in the in the higher up in the emergency services, and not just the police, but the emergency services in general. We need to stop losing officers. Therapy dog pizza parties. This is like the whole thing on. When you work in an office and it's absolutely miserable, and they say, "Oh, you get to do a dress down Friday." Nice one. That'll stop me wanting to put my head under a moving lorry. Better support and pay, and then obviously gets thrown out the window, which, what the thing which actually needs to happen, but we don't want to hear it. So, we'll punish you for raising it. Yeah. Yeah. I can totally understand that sentiment. I know what's this one. Oh, oh, oh. I mean, the takedown was great. I'm not sure about the strikes in the side though. It looked like he had him under control. But that's it. Let's just watch that bit again. That was brilliant. Fucking hell. That's a takedown. So we see the guy is throwing big uns at the cop. He's throwing fists, and then his mate just appears out of nowhere and just absolutely nails him to the floor. Completely justified in my opinion. Again, not sure about the strikes afterwards, the strikes to the side, but be interesting to see what happens with that one. But overall, I think that's an absolute brilliant takedown and a great use of force. Cheeky drink out the mug to plug the merchandise. Links in the description of this video. Coffee tastes much better when it's out of a mug you've created, doesn't it? Viewing all these officer antics is thirsty work. And plus, I'm currently doing a water fast as well, so my energy is a little bit low. So the the coffee is very much needed. Okay, what else have we got? Let's have a look. Okay, so this next one, someone sent it me and said, like, I'd like your opinion. So I'm gonna just be as open-minded as possible, not look at it from a policing perspective, public perspective, just what do we see and what happens? If you enjoy these kind of conversations, then why not become a Patreon? You can support me for as little as $4.99 a month. As a Patreon, you'll get advanced access to videos, articles, behind the scenes footage, and more. For just the price of a coffee a month, you can help me bring these important conversations to the world. Just simply click the link in the description or scan this QR code right here. Okay, so we can see that that lady there has got a phone out, obviously quite excited that someone's whipped out a taser. Um, from what I understand about this one, is Wetherspoon's customer resists arrest after sexually assaulting a staff member. So someone's been sexually assaulted, they're going to be locked up. So the police have various things they can do here. So they'll have gone and they're gone, you're lifted. Either go, no, I'm not. He's probably pissed as well, and he's looks like quite a big lad. So we've got a male officer, female officer there. The female officer is trying to get hold of this lad. He's resisting. He's pulling away. It's called active resistance. He's not being violent, but he's actively resisting. Um, and then we have the officer who's whipped out the taser and is threatening with the taser. So let's see what happens now. As if he's still got his fag in his mouth. Brilliant.
He sexually assaulted me. Twice.
So she's struggling there to get the cuffs on. And he's still got his taser out. Clear demands. I don't think English is this guy's first language, but I mean it's not an excuse really. I mean the cops, you know what a police officer looks like, you know how to respond when the police come over to you. So we've got two cops here who are quite clearly struggling to get this lad under control to try and get his cuffs on. My issue here is that the cop still got his taser out. That just poses a risk because he can always grab it, but regardless. Nice clear verbals. If it was me now, I think I'd have put my taser away because I was a taser officer. I think I'd have put my taser away, and then you have both hands. So they've let go of him there. Right, so now he's got the cuff on his arm, and the cuffs are open. So really, he's got a weapon, like a quick swing, and you could cause serious issues there. So the officers need to obviously be more careful now. I think he needs to put his taser away. I mean, at that moment in time, you're not thinking about that sort of stuff. You're just thinking of the big bloke in front of you who you're trying to get under control. You're in a public place, you're on camera, people are recording you. You've got the safety of the public, safety of your colleagues, safety of yourself, and obviously the safety of the suspect as well. And now he's got a weapon on him by way of having the cuffs on his arm. This hand, actually. Yeah, this hand. Okay. So he's trying to take him to the floor there. Again, the taser's still out. Clear vocals, good. Up at the back's trying to get the cuffs on. In situations like that, it can just be like, grab whatever you can. So it's okay. Okay, so we've cut now. So the bloke put his taser away. And we've cut now to him being on the floor. Now, of course, we don't know what happened in between that. He's gone from a bloke standing there, not really fighting the officers. He's resisting. He doesn't want to come willingly, but he's not being violent. And then it cuts to 5 officers. 4 are above him and 1's below him. Looks like we've got some kind of hold. Again, public place, people around you. But we don't see what happened in between. This is the main thing. So there's a reason why there's more officers been called. Because if them 2 officers would have got the cuffs on him, or maybe it was for the transport vehicle, I don't know. We'll keep watching anyway. So he's just captured him. He's used pepper spray basically and captured him. They're trying to get his legs under control. He's still not coming quiet. The by the looks of it, I don't think they got cuffs on yet. So he's spitting. That makes sense if he's just been captured. You know, the sound of sirens in the background. So backup's coming. Okay, I'm kind of sad it ended there. But I know that one of the reasons why they want me to look at this is because of the deployment of the captor spray. This video was sponsored by my best-selling police memoir, The Job's Fuck Secret Diary of a Police Officer. After 10 years in the police service, I finally left and I decided I need to speak out. This book does a deep dive into police corruption, the real reason why the police force is falling apart, and things you will never hear in the mainstream media. You can check it out in the link in the description of this video. You could also grab some merchandise and support me on Patreon. And now, without further ado, enjoy the video. A captor is used, it's an irritant, it's a very good tool what the cops have. I've been hit with it myself. You have to be tested with it. I've had friendly fire. And it's very effective. If you get a good hit on someone's eyes, it's not just the pain in the eyes, but your body goes into kind of like a shock because of how painful it is. So your hearing can go. A lot of people drop to the floor when that happens. I mean, it's a lesser use of force, isn't it, rather than punching somebody, because that just causes what's called transient pain and discomfort. And if you're in the emergency services, if you're in the police, you know exactly what that phrase means. It gets absolutely drilled into you. This guy is on the floor. He's got cops around him. He's not giving up his arms by the looks of it. They can't get him under control. So the cops have a few options there. They can either use a strike, which they would, hit him or punch him or whatever. But that doesn't look good in public if a police officer's hitting somebody. So they obviously have that to contend with. Like I said, they're on camera and everyone's got their own opinions about it. But then we also have the actual damage what a strike could potentially do. If you hit someone, you can cause damage, you can bruise, it's more long lasting. Whereas a spray with captor, you could argue it was too close. Okay. But is in close proximity. Is he really going to put his arm all the way out there and spray? He might hit himself. So you're going just naturally you're going to get close up for a more targeted deployment. And although it hurts and it doesn't look good, it's less use of force because you've tried talking to the guy, that's not working. You've tried using body weight, that's not working. The next deployment is you either strike him or use captor. Now, striking can cause more issues, so captor. So I don't think there was any issue with the deployment of the captor per se. Maybe it was too close, but I mean, other than that, I think the cops did a really good job there. What about you? What do you think? Okay, so we have two more to get through. So let me look at this one.
Officer, where's the non-smoking areas?
Night shifts aren't bad on your body, says John, age 24. Night shifts are brutal, which is actually why I designed a course to help you with night shifts and to help your mental health and your boundaries with the job and everything else. If you're interested in that course, it is in the description of this video. So, what do we have here? We have an officer who's stood there having a smoke, having a cigarette. He's probably just having a minute. He's, by the looks of it, a response officer, so he's probably been run ragged off his feet. And he's outside just having a minute. And then this guy comes over to him and then starts to fucking film it and record him. The last thing a cop wants when they're trying to have a minute.
What? Can't answer that? Wow.
I'm waiting for the
And that's
public
the
servant to
divide
come up.
between members of the public and the police. Just after a simple question, and you're not able to provide an answer.
You're not after a simple question because if you were, you wouldn't have your camera out and you wouldn't be recording. You're doing that to engage the officer in a conversation to then get some kind of reaction out of him. This officer's not giving you what you want. He clearly knows this is the reason why you're there. And also, he doesn't have to talk to you. If you walk over to somebody on the street and you say, where's the smoking area or where's the closest Tesco's or whatever. They don't have to talk to you, regardless if they're in uniform or not. This officer's having a minute. Okay, is it polite that he answers you? Yeah, all right. But does he have to? No, and it's his right to refuse to want to engage with somebody. Unless, of course, he reported a crime or an incident, then that's different. But if it's just officer, where's this? You don't have to address you.
Do you think that was a hard question? Do you think I'm asking you that for any reason?
So here's the provocation. This is he's trying to get a rise out the car. Oh, that intentional little flick of the cigarette there.
Find out where the non-smoking areas are. Earlier on, one of your officers, who I assume, because he was in plain clothes, said to me you couldn't smoke there, and he pointed out danger of death. And I've been asking a few of your officers if people can smoke here. Obviously you're smoking, but I'm just asking you the question. Where's the non-smoking areas? Any idea?
There we go.
Treatment. Yeah. I bet you give that to everybody.
And there we go. So we saw a cut there of he's hanging around the police station. It's obviously an auditor. And typically with auditors, they want a reaction because then that makes engagement for their channel. So then they get to post that. I think this officer did a great job. Because if he went, I don't know where this non-smoking area is. Ah, well, then why are you smoking there? If you went, well, here's the smoking area, it would be, oh, well, clearly it's not because it says non-smoking. If it was, this is a smoking area, be like, well, no, so either way, the officer would have been entered into a conversation, a back and forth for this auditor's channel, which he quite clearly didn't want to do. And also, I mean, the guy's having a minute. You don't know whether he's just been to something horrific. You don't know if this is his sixth shift in a row. You don't know if he was off late. You don't know what this cop's been through, right? And he's just having a few minutes to himself and he's just having a fag. He's having a smoke. Just leave the guy to it. I think I think no response was great, given that he would have been antagonizing, damned if you did and damned if you didn't anyway. So there's no engagement, I think was the best thing you could have done there. Okay, so before we get onto the last one, which is like the most horrific thing I would want to show you, I was also sent this one, and I have watched this one, so I just wanted your opinion on it. Okay, so I think these are French police. By the looks of it, I think the French police. So they're clearly trying to breach the door. They're trying to break the door down. All right. So, oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I mean, that's cakes, isn't it? That's got to be somewhere in the cake finds. I used to work with a lad actually. He was a cracking bloke. He was a proper like strong lad. We used to call him like a Terminator. He was just like one emotion all the time. Really, really good cop actually. Really nice guy. It used to be a joke, like, oh, he's not in the house. Lifts it, and oh, he'd lift the house up and go, oh, so he's not under the house either. So like, I actually went to a job with him once, and someone got the car stuck. Like they couldn't get the car out. We tried reversing it. We tried pulling it and stuff. And this officer basically, he's a little car, but still, this officer deadlifted the car and got the wheels back onto the road so that the person could like drive away. Absolute monster of a human being, but cracking guy. And if he ever watches this, like you know what I'm talking about. And I hope you're doing all right, mate. Okay, so there's a couple more that I would want to show you, but I think this one's a really important one here. Okay, so this is a protest. By the looks of things in like a shopping centre, our biggest point of contention with protesting is why are you covering your face if you're not up to no good? If there's a reason you don't want to be identified, that should call into question the reason why you're there anyway. So what we have here is I think this is the Met. From the details I've been told, it's a Met. So cops are clearly trying to lock someone up. So here's the thing: when it comes to large groups of people, particularly if they're covered over, I advise everyone to look into something called mob mentality. And what happens is because people believe they're anonymous and the escalation of violence increases because one person pushes an officer or one person smashes a window, well, then that's the base level then. So then people go more extreme, they go more violent, they create more damage. This is the worry in something like this because people are covered, they're anonymous, there's a lot of them. It doesn't take much for someone to like maybe throw a bottle or to someone to produce a weapon because there's an anonymity there because of the group mentality, it makes it more likely something like that can happen. So the officers can't take any chances, which is why we're seeing the officers pushing people away. You know, no one gets close. And also the officers there who are arresting the person, they have to be protected while they do that. So this is why the other officers are forming a line around them. So let's just carry on having a look to see how this escalates and how it's resolved. What's with the masks, guys? So the officers there pushing away, going, get back, get back. So they're trying to grab that officer there. And if that officer gets grabbed and pulled out, then he's in serious problems, serious trouble. So he sprayed him. So he sprayed him with the captor. An effective use of captor as well, I think, because we've also got to consider the officer's safety as well and how the officers are feeling. Now, okay, they sprayed their captor in a crowded place. Not something which you are often advised to do, but this is an extremely stressful and extremely volatile situation. So other methods of use of force and protect themselves have to be considered. So we've got officers who are under threat. They're trying to arrest somebody. People are actively grabbing hold of them, assaulting them, trying to hurt them. Someone's whipped out the cat spray and sprayed. Could some people be caught in the crossfire who were not intended targets? Of course, but it's not long lasting. It causes irritation, it causes pain. But as we saw, the officers were able to create space. The people who were trying to hurt them moved back. It had the desired effect. So, yeah, I've no real criticism when it comes to that. It's an incredible stressful situation, and people who want to criticize the police in that moment, I imagine, have never been in that sort of situation before. But I'm always interested to hear people's views. when it comes to these videos. If you want me to review any others, by all means, let me know. Send me on Instagram, tag me in something. That's absolutely fine. If you enjoyed this kind of content, I'll do more of it. I actually quite enjoyed doing this. If you want to support the channel, there's all the links in the description and how to do that. And why don't you check out this video here, which is my honest opinion on what is happening in the police force right now.